Hello, everyone. I am live, and this is my spoiler review of Halloween Ends. I think I said Halloween Ends. Um, I still don't know if you can hear me in the mic. I don't see any viewers on there right now, but just let me know if there's an issue with the mic. I would really appreciate that. So I'm doing a spoiler review of Halloween Ends. It just came out yesterday. It came out on Peacock and it came out in theaters. So I'm just doing a quick little spoiler review of the last film of the franchise of the trilogy that began in 2018. And if you want to go all the way back to the 1978 version, so this is Hollywood. I'm sorry, Halloween Ends. I don't know why I keep saying Hollywood. Halloween Ends, a spoiler review. I'm doing this alone today, so it's just gonna be by myself. But we'll get into those details in just a bit here. But last week we did a Funko Pop giveaway, and this is the one that I'm talking about. So this is the Oogie Boogie Funko Pop a giveaway. So I'll give you some information here. It's still open, so if you still want to be a part of this, you still can. It will be closing fairly soon. So here's the information about this giveaway. It says, I have a new Funko Pop giveaway, and it's a Blacklight Oogie Boogie Funko Pop to one Movie Canon subscriber on YouTube or Instagram follower. If you are both a subscriber and a follower on Instagram, your name will be entered twice. If you refer a friend and they follow this page for the first time or subscribe to this channel, your name will be added for each of the new referrals. The giveaway will be activated once I receive at least 15 entries, which at this point I have. So we have received at least 15 entries. And you must have a mailing address within the United States. So I do have to emphasize on that you must have a mailing address within the United States to enter and to win this Funko Pop giveaway, since I'm not going to be able to mail it out to like Europe or Latin America, South America, or some other continents out of North America, out of the US, basically. So that's the Funko Pop that was announced last week. So that is still open, so you can still enter for that. The other thing that we're going to be doing, not today, but later on, I'm doing a Funko Pop giveaway of this one right here that you see on the screen. So this is a new upcoming giveaway, a Funko Pop of Michael Myers with the Myers house. Obviously, keep an eye out for that giveaway, as I will be providing more details and instructions on my Instagram page at the Movie Canon. This giveaway will be awarded live on another Halloween Horror Talk live stream, currently set for October 29th. Details to come. So that is the plan right now, to have this other live stream, which is going to be very Halloween themed or related. So that one, you can actually possibly win this Funko live on the stream. So we're going to do something a little different, and I'll give you the details about that a little later. So that's it for this one right now, for the giveaways. So again, this stream is about a spoiler review of Hollywood. What I keep saying Hollywood? Halloween Ends. No idea why I keep saying Hollywood. Halloween Ends. This is the spoiler review of that film. Okay, so again, it's just going to be by myself. So the things that I like to usually begin when it comes to these reviews, I like to get into the positives, and then let's get into the negatives. So I'm going to tell you straight up right now, the positive section of Halloween Ends, it's much shorter than the negative list of Halloween Ends. Again, going back to Hollywood. Halloween Ends. Okay, so let's begin. Let's do it the positives. So here are the positives of Halloween Ends. Okay, so I have a couple things here. You can see in the screen right here, you see the little the inside of the house opening scene of the movie. So here's what we got for the actual positives. Okay, so let's begin with the opening credits. So we have those jack-o'-lanterns transformations, and this is like very minimal, but this is one of the very few positives of Halloween Ends. in every opening credit of Halloween movies, they have these little pumpkins, little jack-o'-lanterns, and you see them on the screen while the credits roll, or whatever. So in this case, the pumpkins, the jack-o'-lanterns are like transforming, like they turn into another pumpkin, or they like one pumpkin eats another pumpkin, if you want to see it that way. So that was a little different than the other ones, like in Halloween Kills that had, I think the pumpkins were like on fire and they kept changing and so on. So that was different. This one I did like that it kind of like transforms into a different pumpkin and then another one and another one while the credits roll. So that's a very minimal positive thing, but it is something I liked. If you're a Halloween fan, a Michael Myers fan, this might be something that you might have enjoyed, as a fan or whatever. Let's see what else here. So some other positives that I have here are, like I said, there's not much on here, but there is a cameo of John Carpenter's The Thing, and this is actually in the opening scene of Halloween Ends. This little scene where the little boy is watching a horror movie, even though his mom told him not to, and Corey, the babysitter, is actually having him watch it anyway. So that was John Carpenter's The Thing, so it's going like a little bit of homage, I guess, to John Carpenter, since he was the one who did the first Halloween movie in 1978. So that was kind of cool. A lot of these old franchise movies or whatever, they usually have like a little scene or whatever that goes back, like a little callback of the original film or whatever the case might be. So they have that. Very minimal things, like I said, as the positives. It's not even related to the plot exactly, but like I said, very minimal positive things here of Halloween Ends. The other positive thing here is going to be there's a cameo of Nick Castle. So Nick Castle, the actor who portrayed Michael Myers, the first one, the original one from 1978. So you've seen him in obviously the original, at least Under the Mask. You don't actually see his face. And in Halloween, the original, I'm sorry, the 2018 Halloween movie, he has a cameo too, but he's wearing a mask, so you don't really see him. And I think he was supposed to have a cameo in Halloween Kills, but I think they've cutted his scene, I believe. But he would have been wearing the Michael Myers mask anyways, so you wouldn't have seen him. But in this one, in Halloween Ends, you actually see him. So you actually see him, the person, not wearing the Michael Myers mask. So he's just like a regular guy. And he's at that little bar or festival, Halloween party that they were at, where he like bumps into Corey and tells him something. And I think there's a line from the original, a little callback from the original, the 1978 version. So it was cool to see him because like, oh, it's Nick Castle, and it's like recognize him right away. And I wasn't expecting him to actually be him. So that was cool to see him there. Very few positives, like I said. I think that might be it for the positives of Halloween Ends. I'm gonna move on now to more of the negative stuff here. So let's see here. All right, so going to the negatives because we have a pretty long list here. Okay, so I guess the first thing that you're going to notice is that there's very little Michael Myers in this film. This is a Halloween movie, and he's barely in it. They relied on this character. I think his name is Corey Cunningham, which is played by Rohan Campbell. And he kind of outweighs his welcome fairly quickly once you realize that he's going to be like the main killer or the main villain, like the new Michael Myers of the film. So once you realize that, at least for me anyways, I was kind of starting to like zone out, I guess. It's kind of like they're going this direction and I wasn't liking it already. This storyline with Corey, I think this should have been used for a soft reboot of Halloween, not to end the revived franchise. So, I mean, the actor was fine. Like, the acting in this movie is just fine. It's just, I don't know why they went with another character here. I don't know why they went to have like a younger guy and do the Michael Myers bidding when it comes to the last Halloween movie that we're probably going to see, at least with Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode. You would expect to see a lot of Michael Myers. So you see a lot of Michael Myers in Halloween Kills, even Halloween 2018, because the franchise is all about Michael Myers. So I thought the studios and the filmmakers would have learned from Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, where they decided to go without Michael Myers, and it was a mistake for them. And then they brought back Michael Myers in the fourth Halloween movie. So now we get to Halloween Ends. Yes, Michael Myers is in it. He's barely in it. And he kind of comes off kind of like this really more of a weaker Michael Myers. Now, it has been 4 years since Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills. So maybe those 4 years weakened him. Although when we saw in Halloween Kills, he has like all these supernatural powers. He's like unstoppable. He keeps getting stabbed and kicked and shot at, and he's still moving. It's just a non-stopping killing machine, basically. That's Michael Myers in the last one, and Halloween Kills. And that's set during 2018. So we have that. So that's the negative things here. Just a few of them, anyways. There's still more going on there. Let's see here. Okay, so another thing here is that I kind of question this a little bit. Why would Laurie Strode try to, go back to living a normal life? Like, I understand that that's something that she would want to do, right? After all these decades and years of dealing with all of that craziness with Michael Myers and so on. So I don't see why she would want to go back to try to live a normal life when she knows that Michael Myers is still out there. He's still out there killing, and and he actually killed her daughter. So I didn't really catch that whole thing, that why she's like trying to move on. She's writing her little memoirs or whatever. And I think she was doing it. I wasn't perfectly clear if she was writing it after Halloween ends, or if it was something she was doing before that. Maybe she was doing it after the story of Halloween Ends actually ended, and that's when she's writing the memoirs. But either way, she was trying to live a normal life, which is fine, after all these years of craziness. But in my mind, it's like, well, I think this character would be even more paranoid. I think she'll be more intense about trying to catch Michael Myers, because he's still out there, and apparently he's unstoppable now, and he actually ended up killing Laurie Strode's daughter. So I would think her character will be like, I definitely need to catch him no matter what. Kind of like her demeanor in Halloween 2018. So I thought that was a little confusing, that now she wants to kind of like move on and leave after that. So that was kind of like a little negative thing for me there. Let's see. Okay, so then we have this whole idea, which kind of already started from Halloween Kills, that kind of like the town decided to, or they kind of like the town is what's making, or is kind of like the villain now. Like the town is actually a villain now. Through the violence of Michael Myers, now he's created these crazy people, rude people, and they're kind of like the villains now. That's how they go back to the whole Corey character that you see there on the screen behind Laurie Strode. So he's like the new Michael Myers or whatever. So kind of like the town made him this way. Now the whole idea about Michael Myers is that he's just pure evil. There's no like actual explanation as to why he is what he is. He's just evil. He just wants to kill. We don't really know much about him. And that's kind of like the the Thing, no pun intended, about Michael Myers. So, I mean, I guess they wanted to do something a little different, and Halloween and the Rob Zombie versions of that franchise, they try to explain what Michael Myers is, or or what made him the way that he is. So they're kind of trying to do that here, in a way with Corey, and I don't really think I really cared too much for it. So that's one of kind of the little negative things there. There's also a lot of jump scares, actually, in this movie. Um, there was a few shots in there when they're just like a full on jump scares. The ones, those movies that we see in the '90s that they just put in a lot of jump scares. And I don't remember them doing that many of those in Halloween Kills or in even Halloween 2018. They used to do that more like in the '90s. I think they did a lot in Halloween H2O. In Halloween H2O, they did a lot of jump scares, and it's kind of going back to that with Halloween Ends. They were using a lot of that. So I didn't really care too much for that. So again, that's another negative there. Let me see if there's anything else here. I know I mentioned earlier that some of the positives of this movie was the opening scene, but I didn't really get into too many details about why I like the opening scene. It could be seen both as as a positive and a negative thing. A positive thing, I did like the way the whole scene opened and it was set up. Some of the things were unexpected. Corey accidentally killed the boy he was babysitting. I think his name was Jeremy, when he got locked into in the closet, and I think it was an attic or something, and breaks the door. And then when he did that, he hits the kid, and then he stumbles down all the way off the balcony, and he dies right there. And that's how the movie basically opens there. There's no Michael Myers in there. It is set during Halloween, but there's no Michael Myers. So if you're going to do an opening scene that is not going to involve Michael Myers in a Halloween movie, I guess this was fine. So I enjoyed it. As far as to what happens after that's the part that's kind of weak. Because now they focus on Corey, the character, and now it's like a Michael Myers and Corey versus the town. So I didn't really care too much for that. But like I said, that was a positive thing. The opening scene itself was pretty good. Let's see if there's any. I'll see if there's any other negatives in this film here. I'm sure there are, but let me see here. Yeah, I mean, so this is gonna be like very. What's the word I'm looking for? Kind of petty, I guess. Or maybe that might not be the good word. It's gonna be very nerdy. The credits of this Halloween Ends movie, it's blue instead of orange. Not really a big deal, but you kind of notice it because it's Halloween and it's always been kind of orange, for Halloween. But this one decided to go with blue. I don't know why they decided to do that. Some kind of a message thing, or maybe they just wanted to switch it up to blue. Not a big deal, but I did notice that. So it's not orange, it's blue. You see that in the credits. Let me see here. Yeah, ultimately, to end this franchise with Michael Myers, this trilogy that was just revived, or they just decided to make another trilogy with Michael Myers. It's a very weak finale. Like I said, Michael Myers is barely in it. They use another character to be kind of like the new Michael Myers. I mean, it's pretty violent, I suppose. If you're a big horror fan, there's plenty of violence there. Although I think Halloween Kills had more kills, more violence. more horror elements, more Michael Myers. And Halloween Kills is not even considered to be a really good Halloween movie. Like I enjoyed it just fine, but most people didn't like Halloween Kills. But this one, Halloween Ends, not that many kills like Halloween Kills, and not much of Michael Myers. So I mean, just a few things going on there with Halloween Ends. Not the greatest film considering that we have Laurie Strode, we have Jamie Lee Curtis, and we do technically have Michael Myers in there, but it was very weak, a very weak finale. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to address here. Okay, and also a very very minimal, very little thing here. Um, I know it's set during Halloween, but it actually doesn't seem or doesn't feel like it's during Halloween time. Um, I think it's set in 2022, so maybe because of the pandemic, they didn't want to make it seem like it's too traditional Halloween. Like you don't see a lot of trick or treaters in the background, like you see in a lot of the Halloween movies. You don't see a lot of that in Halloween Ends, even though it is set during you know Halloween week or whatever. So again, very minimal stuff there, but that's just kind of little things that I've noticed in this movie here. Um, so I think I'm gonna get to the uh, the grading system. So when it comes to the movie canon, a grading system, I use the three S's. It's either you see it, stream it, or skip it, meaning the film is worthy of one of those three things. Plus, then there'll be a grade, a letter grade, like school grades, A, B, C, D, F, whatever the case. So in this case, since Halloween Ends is both in theaters and on Peacock, so you can stream it if you rather not go to the theater. I'm going to say that Halloween Ends is going to be a stream it. So I mean, I saw it in theaters because I wanted to watch the last Halloween movie, probably with Jamie Lee Curtis, in the theaters. There might be the last opportunity to do that, at least for a new Halloween movie. So that's why I went and saw it in theaters. But if you're like on the fence, and basically what you're hearing, the reviews, because I'm not the only person who wasn't a big fan of Halloween Ends, um, I would stream it instead of spending a lot more money on a theatrical experience. Um, I mean, I have the AMC A list, so I only pay a fee once, and I can watch several movies. So that's a good deal for me already, anyways. Um, but with gas prices and so on, so I think streaming the movie, if you were kind of like on the fence or you still like the franchise and you're not a huge fan, like if you're a humongous huge fan or whatever, you probably already seen the movie or you just haven't had time or whatever the case. Based on the quality of this movie, I'll say this is a stream it. I wouldn't necessarily go and make a whole night out of going to see this in theaters. Even though I always support people going to the theaters because that is a better experience overall. So Halloween Ends will be a stream it. As far as the grade, this is going to be a C. So it's very mediocre. There was a couple things that I liked that I already talked about, but overall there was more negatives in there. It wasn't the worst movie I've seen this year, or even the worst Halloween movie I've seen, but it wasn't very good. And the standards, the expectations for the last Halloween movie with Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers together was a bit of a letdown. So that's going to be a C. So let me see if there's anything else that I want to address for this movie here. Um, and I did mention earlier, like the whole storyline with Corey, the new Michael Myers. I mean, that might have worked for like a soft little reboot. If they were going to reboot Halloween, that won't have Jamie Lee Curtis in it, and maybe they just want to leave the history of Halloween, like Laurie Strode and Michael Myers and all that stuff, and then they make a soft reboot and they use this storyline. I think I would have been fine with that story. I just didn't want it to be in this last Halloween Michael Myers film this last trilogy. It just kind of seemed like the filmmakers didn't have enough of a story for 3 entries, and they just kind of did something in this last one. To me, it's like if you don't have enough story, just make the film that you can based on the story that you have. Like, I know that you want to make more money if you do 3 movies instead of 2 or 1, obviously. But obviously, they didn't have enough story for Halloween Ends, and it should have ended probably on Halloween Kills, or probably even in the first one. But like I said, I still enjoyed the first 2, but this last one, Halloween Ends, definitely the weakest by far of the newer ones. And of course, it doesn't even touch the original, or even the one that I like as a guilty pleasure, Halloween H2O. So not that great, not that great of a movie. I would consider myself I would say I'm a Halloween fan, Michael Myers fan. I'm not as big of a fan as other people that I know, or just in general. So I'm curious to know their thoughts, because there wasn't much of Michael Myers in it. I wonder if that was good enough for them with the whole Corey storyline and everything. So it is what it is. So let's see. I don't think I have anything else for the Halloween Ends spoiler review. So I'm just gonna go back here to the giveaways that I'm doing here. So again, I'm still doing the Funko Pop giveaway of Oogie Boogie. Follow me on Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for your chance to win this Funko. A lot of you guys have already entered, and it activated the giveaway a while ago. A lot of people entered. So I am giving this away. I will post it on Instagram who the winner is. It's still open for now. It will be closing soon. So go to the Instagram page, or even the description of this video, for details as to how to enter and how to win. And as I mentioned earlier, there's a new one that I'm doing. This Michael Myers with a Myers house, which you kind of see here in the background here a little bit. It's over here. So I have it here. So that's not the one I'm giving away. This is mine, so I'm keeping that one. But I'm giving away another one of those to a YouTube Movie Canon subscriber, or Instagram Movie Canon follower. So one of you guys will win this. Now, this giveaway is going to be a little different, because you will actually win the Funko Pop, or this one, live on a stream. It's going to be done a little different. So I'll give you the details about that later. So it hasn't officially opened yet per se, but I'll give you the details, and you can actually enter before the actual stream happens. So that's most likely going to be on October 29th. At least that's the plan. October 29th, I'm going to do a stream, another Halloween Horror Talk stream. Most likely it'll be a Halloween ranking video. So that's a future giveaway. I'll give you more details soon. And again, the Oogie Boogie Funko is still open, so try to enter for that one. So I think that's it for this spoiler review of Halloween Ends. I was saying Hollywood earlier for some reason. I have no idea why, but this was the spoiler review of Halloween Ends. Did not love the movie. It was the weakest of them all, of the trilogy. I still have to think about it as to where it's going to stand with the overall franchise, but it's definitely going to be towards the bottom of that list. Not much of Michael Myers in there. So that's how it's going to end. So I believe that's it. Thank you for watching this stream. If you watch it later, thank you for watching it. And again, I have those Funko Pop giveaways. Keep an eye out for the new one that's coming out, the Michael Myers with Myers house. And I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much. And I'll talk to you guys and see you guys later.